Mr. Arnold here? I don't see one too.
Dang, it's not gonna work.
Okay, who's representing J&D Properties? That was Arpanicki?
Yeah.
And Tyler Latcher?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
That was, who's representing Latcher then? We had one, that was Mr. Dunnings who passed away, so that's why we sent this. Why we sent this. Is Samika being here?
Yes.
Mr. Arpanicki. Mr. Garrett, you're here with the Harvey Clarizio matter.
Please, court, Your Honor.
You're here with the Harvey Clarizio matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the Harvey F. Clarizio versus Christy McWilliams, file number 23-03170 LT, counsel appearance.
Please, court, Your Honor. Attorney Frank Narrett for the plaintiff landlord.
I don't see anybody present for Christy McWilliams. Did you check anybody in for Christy McWilliams? Okay, today was the date and the time that was set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. Christy McWilliams has failed to appear, but the default can be entered.
You want the numbers, Your Honor? I can fill this out.
You can complete it, but you actually have to file it onto my file though. We're electronic for civil.
Fill it out and file it electronic.
You can file electronically.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Okay, on the record in the matter of NY Properties LLC versus Eric Jones. I did see Mr. Dua, but he just stepped out, so we'll call it in a minute. You can have a seat. On the record in the matter of John Weeks versus Jordan Hayes. File number 23-03176 LT, counsel appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Sean Mock on behalf of the plaintiff, John Weeks.
And good afternoon, Alyssa Hall on behalf of the defendants, Jordan Haynes and Alyssa Villarreal.
Okay, today was the date and the time that was set for a hearing. And this is for a non-payment of rent. I see that the parties have entered into a consent judgment. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I see Jordan Haynes. I don't see Alyssa Villarreal. Okay. Can you unmute? Ms. Villarreal, can you unmute your device? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, did you want to resolve this matter by a consent judgment?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you both understand that you have the right to be represented by counsel, which you are, and you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter?
Yes.
We understand.
You have the right to have a jury trial. Did you want to waive that right today?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Villarreal?
Yes.
Okay, you understand that once you waive the right, you can't later change your mind, and that means that this will have judgment entered against you, whereby you agree that the rent to retain possession of the property is due and owing in the amount of $5,950, plus other money due, $350, court costs $266.82, for a total amount of $6,566.82, and that's for rent due through February 29th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that you agree to pay that or vacate the property no later than February 29th?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Anybody threatening you to waive your right to trial in order to enter into consent judgment?
No.
Nope.
Oh, any promises being made to you for you to enter into consent judgment?
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. And so is there any applications that you currently have that's pending with any agency that will help pay the past due amount?
No, ma'am. None pending of return. Of course, we've put in some applications as far as like rental assistance, but we haven't heard back anything yet.
You've applied for rental assistance where?
We applied
Through,
for DHS, but we had to have like an actual eviction notice for them to help us. So this
yeah,
would be
that's
like
the
the
requirement.
actual, this would be the actual eviction that we would be able to submit to be able to get assistance with the rent.
Okay, lastly, did you give your attorney permission to sign this consent judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have 3 business days from today. If once you leave the courtroom, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you gave up, you can return to the court, request to file a motion to set aside judgment, and then we'll set this for a hearing, okay?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You have any questions?
No, that's
No questions.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the plaintiff, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, you're all set.
Thanks.
Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you.
Same to you. On the record in the matter of NY Properties LLC versus Eric Jones, file number 23-02882, counsel appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Sam Dua here on behalf of the plaintiff.
And you're Eric Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Jones, today is the date that was set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. My understanding is that the parties have entered into an agreement whereby a consent order for conditional dismissal will enter today.
Yes.
It says here that you're agreeing to have the case dismissed today upon the condition that you'll pay the past due rent in the amount of $5,700. Does that say 89?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't write it down. I know the total is 6025 with the costs.
Okay, yeah, there's somebody wrote over a number,
I
so,
did.
okay, 57, it looks like
I
8909
believe that's correct.
for past due rent, and that's rent due and owing through February 29, 2024, plus court costs of $235.71 for a total of 6025. Is that accurate? No dispute there? And that you agree to pay that or vacate by the 16th of February, is that correct?
Yes, I've already paid $5,400.
It says defendant has tendered 2 payments totaling $5,400, which have yet to clear the plaintiff's bank, and the remaining 625 will be paid by the 16th of this month. That's correct?
Yes, I'm paid.
Okay, we understand that partial performance will not satisfy this agreement. You gotta pay and perform fully under the agreement, meaning you gotta pay the full balance by the date you agree. You understand that?
Yes,
And that's your signature on here?
yes.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by an attorney at today's proceeding. appear today without an attorney. Are you waiving that right? You also have the right to proceed to a trial. You could have demanded a jury trial. We have not received a jury demand. Are you waiving your right to trial?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to waive those rights?
No, ma'am.
Any promises getting you to waive the right to enter into this agreement?
No, ma'am.
You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you did in fact misunderstood the rights that you just waived, you can return to the court and request to have this agreement set aside. We'll set this matter for a hearing, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No.
You're all set. We'll get you a copy of this. On the record, in the matter of NY Properties LLC versus Sarah Dumbrowski, file number 23-02883, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sam Zua here on behalf of the plaintiff.
And Alyssa Hall on behalf of defendant Sarah Dumbrowski.
Dumbrowski, can you please start your video? Okay, I need you to also unmute your device. Okay, Mr. Dombrowski, today was the date set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. I have here a conditional dismissal. It says that you want to agree to have the matter dismissed today upon certain conditions. Is that accurate? I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes. Is that accurate?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm sorry. This phone's really bad.
I'm sorry?
This phone's really bad and I have to be by Wi-Fi, so it's choppy.
Okay. I stated that today was the date that was set for you to have a hearing for non-payment of rent. However, I received a conditional dismissal in order. Is that how you want to resolve this matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the conditional dismissal says the case will be dismissed today upon the agreement that you will move out of the address of 241A Forest, Lansing, Michigan 48910 on or before February 29, 2024, and that you will notify the plaintiff upon moving out and return the keys to the plaintiff on or before February 29, 2024. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you understand that if you were to default on these agreements, that the action will proceed without any notice to you, meaning the case can be reinstated. The case
Yes,
can be
ma'am.
reinstated and eviction will enter against you immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You could have demanded a jury trial. Did you want to waive your trial right? Can you take the conversation outside, please? Did you want to waive your trial right?
Yes, ma'am.
In order to, okay, anybody threatening you in order to do that?
No, ma'am. I'm not talking though. I am outside by myself.
I wasn't talking to you, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I
I'm
was in
sorry.
the courtroom and they were
Okay.
talking, so it was causing a distraction for me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nonetheless, no problem. You understand partial performance under this agreement will not satisfy, correct?
Correct.
You got to move all your stuff out. You got to turn over the keys and you got to do it by February 29th, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Lastly, did you give your attorney permission to sign this agreement on your behalf?
I did, yes.
Okay, you have 3 business days from today's date to return to the court and request to set aside this agreement if you realize you misunderstood the rights that you gave up in order to enter into this agreement, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
I do not, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dombrowski.
Thank you. Have a good day.
On the record, in the matter of John Weeks. Oh, did I do that one already? I did. On the record in the matter of Fifth Third Bank versus Nicholas David, file number 23-03177. Council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Norman Whitty appearing for Trot Law on behalf of Fifth Third.
Okay, and you're Nicholas Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, today was the date set for a hearing for termination of tenancy, and my understanding is there's been a consent judgment.
Correct, if I may approach.
Yes.
By way of background, this is following the expiration of a redemption period on a foreclosed mortgage, so there's no money amounts or anything like that. It's just an agreement on a move-out date, and we've agreed to March 8th as being the RIP date. We did go over the defendant's rights under NCR 1.201J.
Thank you. That's correct. You want to have judgment entered for possession against you,
Yes, ma'am.
and you agreed that you were going to vacate the property by March 8th, 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understood your right to be represented by an attorney today.
Yes, I did.
Are you giving up that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand your right to proceed to trial?
Yes.
You could have demanded a jury trial. You understood that?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to give up that right?
Yes.
Is anybody threatening you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Any promises being made to you to get you to give up those rights?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and then you sign this document here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll sign and date it for today. You have 3 business days from today to return to the court and request to have this judgment set aside. If you leave here and realize you misunderstood any of the rights that you gave up in order to have the consent judgment entered, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions? Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. We'll get you a copy, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. On the record in the matter of H&N Holding LLC versus Salvador Rivera and Amy Rivera.
Yes, Your Honor, Chris Brown representing plaintiff. I believe that's a dismissal.
Have you filed a dismissal?
Yes, on M file.
Okay. I'll note that in the file. Okay. I'm assuming Mr. Arkanicki's not gonna come back. Is that what's going on? Who is this?
Salvador.
Okay, my understanding is that matter, well, he's present on the record in the matter of H&N Holdings LLC versus Salvador Rivera and Amy Rivera. Is Amy Rivera with you? Okay, counsel, can I have your appearance for the record?
Yes, Chris Brown representing plaintiff.
Okay, and then I have Salvador Rivera, correct? Present in the courtroom. Yep, you can step up to the table so the mic will pick you up. Today was the date and the time set for hearing for non-payment of rent. Mr. Brown, you said that there was a motion to dismiss filed on this?
There was, they paid in full at the end of January, including court costs. So their balance as of January 31st was actually a credit balance. So we were required to dismiss. Thank you. They do owe February rent, but they had a 0 balance on that date. Thank you.
Okay, I'm checking my queue for my file. It hasn't hit my queue yet for me to sign, but the case will be dismissed upon my signature, okay? You're all set unless you have questions for me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, who do we have that's here? I don't see Mr. Arkanicki, but I'm gonna take care of Miss Beam. Miss Beam?
Yes.
I was trying to wait for Mr. Arkanicki to return, but I don't know that he's gonna make it back, so let me call your case. On the record in the matter of David Bush LLC versus Samika Beam and all other occupants. This is file number 23-0319. I don't know why he has this number on here. 169 LT. And Ms. Beam is present via Zoom. Ms. Beam, I have a consent order for conditional dismissal that was signed by Mr. Akanicki, and it indicated that you gave him permission to sign. It says that you are agreeing to have the case dismissed today upon the condition that you're going to pay or vacate by February 29th, and that you agree that the past due rent that is owed to retain possession of the property is $6,675 plus court costs of $161.90 for a total of $6,836.90. Does that sound accurate?
That I was to pay $650 on the first of every month until the balance is paid.
Correct, but I haven't gotten to that portion yet. I just wanted to
Oh, I'm
make sure
sorry.
that the amount sounds accurate.
Yes,
Okay, and the date of February 29th, being the date that you're going to pay or vacate, is also accurate, correct?
to my understanding, I was to pay $650 a month.
It says
Not-
here, further conditions, defendant, there's a typo here, but I'll correct it. It says should be $650 per month, the first of each month, beginning March 1st. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, so $650 per month on the first of each month, starting March 1st until the past due balance is paid in full. It says defendant to continue to pay rent pursuant to your lease, and any missed payments will result in section 4B, which is an action that proceeds without your notice. So that means that if you default on any of those $650 payments, they'll file a motion with the court. They don't have to notice you for that. That motion with the court will cause judgment to enter against you immediately. You understand that?
yes,
Okay, and so partial performance will not satisfy this agreement. So you have to pay the full amount that you're agreeing to pay on the date that you agreed to pay it. So you can't pay $650 on the second of the month. You got to pay it on the first because that's what you agreed. You understand that?
yes.
Do you have any questions about that?
No,
You understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney?
yes,
Are you going to waive that right in order to have this agreement entered?
yes,
You also have the right in this matter to proceed to a trial. You could have demanded a jury trial in this matter. Did you want to waive jury trial to have this agreement entered in this form?
yes,
Okay. You have 3 business days from today to return to the court. If once you leave the virtual courtroom, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you gave up. You return to the court, you go to the civil clerk's office, you tell them you want to file a motion to set aside the judgment, okay?
okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Did you give Mr. Akanicki permission to sign this document?
Yes,
Okay, well then you're all set. I'll sign and date it for today. And you're good to go for today, ma'am. Thank you for your patience.
thank you.
You're welcome. No one else is on Zoom. Are you waiting for your case to be called?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
My name's Brooke Frank.
Brooke Frank. And what's your name?
Shannon Claire.
Are you waiting for your case to be called as well?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your file number?
2303189.
Okay, that was crossed out on mine.
Yeah.
That one was dismissed. Mr. Brown's file, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. Mr. Brown,
Yes, Your Honor.
Hamy Baruch versus Shanna Cordair, what was supposed to happen with that matter?
I believe that was an adjournment from legal aid, submitted an adjournment.
Are you represented by legal aid?
No, ma'am. The other party is.
Oh, okay.
They told me that they couldn't represent.
Okay, so they only represent Cherie Ashworth. They don't represent Shanna Cordair, and she's here today.
Understood. It's my understanding that Ms. Cordell no longer lives on the property. We'd like to request an adjournment as to that as well and deal with them at the same exact time, if possible.
If she doesn't live at the property, what is it that you need? Some proof that she
There's a
doesn't
money
live there?
claim. There's a money claim on the case, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see something. Do I have the file?
No, I already said it. February 28th.
It's out.
It's in out.
Can you grab that file for me, please? She's not represented by counsel, so I don't know that it's meaningful to have her come in and out of court if she's here today. When did you vacate the property, ma'am?
7/18/23.
And you notified them?
Yep, notified them. Ms. Ashworth texted and told me if I had paid August's rent, sorry, September's rent, that she would have me removed from the lease, and that did not happen.
You notified the landlord yourself?
Yes, I talked to Julia. She's like the management. She's the one that we signed the lease with.
Okay, and let's see here. October 2nd, 2023 was when this eviction was filed. No. You have evidence of you telling them that you vacated the property?
I talked to Julie on the phone. I did print the text message between my mom and Sharif. There's no contact order in place. And I do have my court paperwork from the domestic that caused them.
Okay, can you get a copy of that? As Mr. Brown, I'm not gonna require her to come back. This eviction is after she would have vacated the property. She vacated, she said, in July 2023.
Yes, Your Honor. We have a money claim on this case, so I'd request an adjournment as to the money claim only.
A money claim for at least the complaint that I'm looking at, which was filed in October of 2023. For past due rent, is that what the money claim is for?
That is correct, Your Honor.
She would have already vacated 3 months prior to that.
Your Honor, I don't believe the lease is expired.
Correct, but she's gonna provide evidence that she asked to be removed from the lease and that she was told that she would be removed from the lease.
Your Honor,
in July.
If we could simply schedule this on for a hearing and she could present evidence to that effect, and we could actually.
I'm making copy of her evidence right now. I could put her in a private meeting room with you right now. She's here right now, and today was her hearing date.
Yes, Your Honor, please. Thank you.
Do you have a smartphone or device you can get on Zoom with?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna get you in a private meeting room to meet with the plaintiff's attorney. Thank you. He's back. I think I put the other file somewhere. Did I give it to him? I might have given it to him too. Frank?
Yes.
Did you meet with Mr. Brown already?
Today?
Yes.
No.
Mr. Brown, you also need to meet with Brooke Frank, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have a device that you can get on?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get you in a private meeting room so you can meet with Mr. Brown once he's out of the room with Ms. Cordero, okay?
Okay, so I wait right here for now?
Yes.
Your Honor,
please.
Your Honor, if I may, I don't think I actually need to meet with Miss Codir. Her lease does not end until May 31, 2024. There's a money claim on there. The only reason that I actually know that she's vacated is only because I was verbally told that by the legal aid attorney who represents the other party. We've not actually been told that in any way, shape, or form. However, as you know, the lease does not expire until May 31st, 2024. So obviously the money claim is at issue. We'll agree to dismiss the possession claim, no problem, but the money claim lives on. Thank you.
Okay, well, if she in fact had a standing to believe that she was removed from the lease, I wouldn't grant a money claim because she was told she was removed from the lease. And that's what I want you to try to work through.
And
Just
that is a verbal
to get her
understanding?
evidence while she's here, to get her evidence today and try to flush that out versus having her come back later for you to get her evidence and then flush it out.
Understood. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, once he's finished with her, she needs to meet with him too. And then Mr. Akinahi, in your absence, I went ahead and took care of the conditional dismissal that you signed for Beam.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. Another hearing.
No problem. I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing with Latchaw. Did they get a new attorney?
No, well, what happened with Latchaw is their previous attorney passed away, and so I subbed in for that. But regardless, I submitted a dismissal on my file earlier today, so that case can be dismissed once it makes its way through the process.
Okay, I'll note that here, then that will take care of that one. And then I see McCoy is crossed out. Was that one reset as well?
That's the pretrial statement.
Oh, that's when we received a pretrial. So I think that we took care of all of yours then.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and what matter were you waiting for?
Mr. Brown, I have the foreclosure paper for tomorrow in Mason. They have the foreclosure going on.
What's your name?
It's Mallory, and the last name is K-A-T-Z.
Oh, okay. We'll wait for him to be available. Okay, Mr. Brown, can I put you in the room with Ms. Frank?
Yes, please.
You're already in room 1. I'll add her to room 1.
Thank you.
What did we reset them for the 28th? We're gonna reset your matter to the 28th of February, which is the time of the hearing with the co-defendant, okay? Did you provide Mr. Brown with your evidence, or are you going to?
He doesn't care. He said that it doesn't matter because there was no agreement between me and his company, so there's nothing I can do. I'm still on the hook for the money.
Okay, well, we just need to provide evidence that they were notified.
Okay.
I don't know if you have phone
Like the
record.
emails, because I did I was talking to Julia on email, and I
Yep.
stated multiple times that I have not resided in the house in July 18th.
Well, if you vacated and you contacted to let them know that you vacated, then you provide that evidence.
Okay.
That could be emails, that could be a ledger showing your phone calls to them to let them know that you had vacated.
Okay, and can I also update my address with you guys? You sent the last court paperwork to the 1015 Johnson.
What's your address?
528 Lake Street, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827.
Okay. Let's get her a notice to appear. She has to have a different address than the other person. There's a no contact order.
The no contact was released in October. However, it's in both parties. That's interest for me not to go back there, so I'm not contact.
Let's see here. When did you sign the lease for your new place?
I'm staying with my mother.
Oh, okay. Are these text messages your mom?
Yes, there was no
You
contact.
probably want to bring your mother to court with you at your next court date as well.
Okay. You know what time that would be?
We're gonna give you the notice right now.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. What are you waiting for? How are you done for today?
I just wanted a copy of that.
Oh. Mr. Brown is supposed to be here in person. He said that. Well, they got paper evidence. We're not his legal assistant. We're not sending it to him. You know, can I wear that here? I just noticed you had that on you. Oh my Lord. Wait a minute here. Ms. Brown, you ready with Miss Frank, correct? Yes, yeah. Come up to the table.
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record, in the matter of Schell Mo 2015 LLC versus Brooke Frank, file number 23-03187. Can I have your appearance, counsel?
Attorney Chris Brown representing plaintiff.
Okay, today was the date set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. Ms. Frank is present in the courtroom. Mr. Brown, did you all come to a resolution?
We did, Your Honor. We have an agreement to enter into a conditional dismissal in this matter. The rent is now due and owing to the end of the month of February is $5,850. Court cost of $239.90 for a total amount of $6,089.90. So the terms of the conditional dismissal are that Ms. Frank is to pay $6,089.90 on or before the end of the month, which is February the 29th, 2024. However, she has applied for her taxes, so hopefully she can get us the information on when the tax money will be received. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Frank, that's accurate?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you want the case to be dismissed today upon the condition that you'll pay past due rent in the amount of $5,850 plus court cost $239.90 for a total of $6,089.90. And that's for rent due and owing through February 29th, and you'll pay that or vacate by February 29th, and that you are agreeing to turn over information that when your tax refund will be due to the plaintiff.
I don't know where I'm supposed to turn that information into.
Yeah, well, probably to Mr. Brown or to his representative, I suppose, so that they can know when they'll get their money if it's not gonna be before February 29th.
Okay, I don't have his contact information to send him anything.
We can get that unless he wants that information provided to the property manager. How do you want that taken care of, Mr. Brown?
Your Honor, if Miss Frank has a court notice, my telephone number's on a court notice that she received to actually come to court today.
She has it at home, so you have his contact, you can notify him with that information as to when you're going to get your tax return. If for some reason you're not able to make that payment, I guess before the 29th, is that how it's supposed to work, Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. And the number that's actually listed, we have an internet-based phone system, so that number she can call, she can actually even text that number if that's more convenient for her.
Okay.
Oh, yes,
Okay. So you have the following rights, ma'am, that you would have to give up before you can move forward in this form. One is the right to be represented by an attorney. You understood that you have the right to be represented by counsel at this proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you could have hired an attorney. If you could not pay for an attorney, you could have requested legal services to represent you. I'm assuming you're waiving your right to be represented today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to demand a jury trial. You did not demand a jury trial, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're waiving your right to trial in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your right and enter into this agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for you entering into this agreement?
No, Your Honor.
You have 3 business days from today that once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood the rights you waived. You can return to the court and request to have this set aside, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, lastly, are you gonna give Mr. Brown permission to sign the conditional dismissal on your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Brown's gonna sign that. He's gonna file that electronically. I'll review and sign it, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem, you're all set.
Have a good day.
Same to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. On the record in the matter of Ramy versus Jason Williams, and Mallory Katz. File number 23-03190 LT, council appearance.
Here's the CD. Chris Brown, representing plaintiff.
Is that your names?
Yes.
You can come up to the table. State your name for the record.
Mallory Katz.
Mr. Williams, I think you stormed out of my courtroom last time. Is that correct? Upset? Frustrated? Okay, you sit, you on one, there's one seat for one for the other. Okay, today was the date that was set to proceed with the hearing for non-payment of rent. I vaguely remember there being a concern about the condition of the property. Is that what it was?
The foreclosure.
A foreclosure.
Property taxes.
Okay, but this is for non-payment of rent and you're,
I made payments. I have proof that I made payments up until we received the foreclosure.
okay, so you made payment up until you
Yep,
found out
up
the
until-
property was in foreclosure.
Correct.
Is your,
Correct, Your Honor.
and when was that, ma'am?
We received the paperwork in almost the second week of August. And we made I made my last payment in September of 2023. And it was $220 because I was struggling at the time and I had to basically choose between utilities and stuff like that. So I had lost my job. And
So you're saying that you made all of your rent payments on time up until you got that notice? Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
and what is it that you brought with you that you,
we have the foreclosure paper and also there's supposed to be a court date due tomorrow for $2,166.73 for the foreclosure due for 1516 South Pennsylvania Avenue.
that's for taxes, is what you're saying?
Property taxes, correct.
Okay, what's the red form?
The red form was the first date that they showed me that the foreclosure, I had a guy come walking on my door and knocking on my door and giving me this paper,
Okay,
asking me if I was the owner. I said, no, I'm the renter. He said, well, the owner basically has property taxes. Do you know about it? I said, no, I don't. I contacted Garno. All he told me was it will be paid. He never said when, he never said what. So I was like, this is crazy.
okay. That was back when again?
This paper was given to me, I believe, in the second week of August.
So that was August. We're now in February. You not paid any rent
No, I did not.
and the property's not been foreclosed on.
No,
So you've been living for free since
I've
August.
been paying utilities. Yes,
You've been living for free since
Yes.
August.
yes. because
And
of this foreclosure.
you believe that he could pay the taxes without you paying your rent?
Well, what I said was, how come I was never notified about this,
Notified about what?
the foreclosure?
Well, you were, that's how you got that.
Yeah, and I didn't want to pay it because if I'm gonna pay rent, is my house gonna get?
You're not
foreclosed?
responsible for paying that.
I know,
That's the
but
landlord.
I know, but is the house gonna get foreclosed?
Possibly, but that
I
the
know, but
foreclosure is outside of,
know I
whoa,
have-
whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
have
whoa,
to
whoa,
start
whoa, whoa.
saving
Whoa,
money.
whoa, whoa. You know what whoa, whoa means?
Yes.
That means you're talking over me.
Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, so foreclosures, when you don't own the property, you can't necessarily control when there's a lien that could be foreclosed on. If there's a foreclosure and they take your rent and they no longer own the property, then you may have a cause of action against them because they took some money from you when they weren't the lawful owners. But to best of the knowledge that we have and the information that you're providing me is that as of today, they're still the lawful owners of this property, unless you have something that shows me that they're not.
Correct. But this is for tomorrow, their court date in Mason for the foreclosure. So I said, is it gonna get paid? Because I have to save money now to move. Thankfully, it's tax time, so I can, find a new house.
You save
and
money.
Save money?
You haven't paid rent since August. Did you put your money, your rent aside?
I had to pay utilities. I have 4 children. I have to.
You gotta pay utilities. What's that got to do with your rent?
I lost my job. I was trying.
That's unfortunate, but what do none of us get to live for free just because we lost our job or that we have to pay utilities? It's still a responsibility that you both have if you live in a property.
Yeah.
And you don't get to say, oh, well, this property may get foreclosed on 6 months from now, so let me hold my rent. And then now you come to me 6 months later and, oh, I gotta save. Well, you had ample opportunity to save because whereas most people were paying rent or mortgage since August, you were not.
Yes.
So the whole saving thing, that goes out the window. All you can show me right now is that they are no longer the lawful owners and or that there's a condition with the property that essentially interfered with your quiet enjoyment or your ability to live there safely because it was not inhabitable. That's what you're to show me. If it's not foreclosed on yet, it could be saved if you had paid your rent. He could go and pay that $2,000, you think, you know? You think?
I don't know because it's a foreclosure for a property that isn't mine. I don't own it. That's why I texted Garno and I said, is it gonna get paid? And he said, yes. And I said, when? And he never wrote me back. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm left in the dark here. Like he never gave me no answer that I was looking for. So I stopped contacting him.
Okay. If you were concerned though, also that it was going to get foreclosed, then why didn't you vacate the property and find a new place?
Because I said I lost my job and I've been looking for one, but I have one now.
Okay.
So I've been saving money.
Okay.
And now that we have money saved, we can move at the end of this month. I can pay off whatever.
Okay, so maybe you and Mr. Brown should talk privately about that.
I agree because I have not got to talk to him about this at all.
Do you have a device you can get on Zoom?
No, I don't have a working phone.
We'll get you on the court device because maybe you all can work something out in lieu of going this route, because if the property was foreclosed on already and they're accepting or expecting you to pay them rent, then I can understand your position.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that the property is going to be foreclosed on in the future, if I have rental property, investment property, and there's renters in there, my expectation is that they're going to pay me and I can use that to pay the taxes and the mortgage and or whatever liens are on there. If I don't get that money, how am I supposed to pay the bills?
At the time, I was thinking single mom, have to pay utilities. I lost my job. Do we want to be homeless or do we want not to have electricity?
No,
So,
you made in the circumstances you were in, you made a smart decision. Let me tell you something here. I was raised by a single mom too, and she always said if you had hard times, you make sure you keep the lights on, but she also said you pay the rent first. You keep a roof over your head.
I was up until I got my foreclosure
you keep a roof over your head first, because you don't want to be out there in the street. And you don't live there alone. You live there too?
He's there on and off. But he works a lot, so
well, I'm asking him, why are you're his mouthpiece? His mouth works.
Sometimes
his mouth works. You live there too, sir?
Yeah, be there.
Yeah, it's just not your only responsibility. That's why his name is listed on here.
It was our agreement to not pay until we figured out what was going on with foreclosure. Honestly.
I can recognize that, but typically when you do those things, you're supposed to make what's called a good faith decision. That means you escrow your rent.
I did, and I contacted DHS and I got denied. I don't know why. I do have denial papers from DHS.
No, good faith means you escrow your rent. That's
I know.
That's what you were supposed to do.
I know, but I was trying to ask for help at the time is what I was saying through DHS and everything because I had lost my job.
To try to get some assistance?
Yes.
And you don't have anything pending right now with DHS, do you?
No.
Okay. Let's get you. Oh, you got. I was gonna say, what's that? That's trying to mute it. No worries. We'll get you to private meeting room. You can talk to Mr. Brown and see if you all can come to a resolution short of me having to continue with this hearing, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. you.
Yep, thank you. You're done, you can bring that back.
Okay, in the courtroom?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
just grab it.
thank you. Yeah, I did. How did I get booted? Okay. I don't know what happened. Mr. Brown. Welcome, come back up. Okay, still on the record. In the matter of Michaela Ramy versus McWilliams. Mr. Brown, did you all come to a resolution at all?
Yes, Your Honor. We've agreed to dismiss this case with the condition that the defendants are to pay $5,020.39 in rent, $260.93 in court costs, for a total of $5,281.32 on or before the end of the month, which is February the 29th. And they're also waiting for their tax refund, and they have our telephone number to keep us informed of when they anticipate that those funds will be received. Thank you.
Okay, so that's how you want to resolve it, with a conditional dismissal?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so the case will be dismissed today upon the condition that you agree to pay the past due rent in the amount of $5,020.39. That's for rent due and owing for February 29th, correct, Mr. Brown?
That's correct.
Okay, plus court costs, $216.93 for a total $5,281.32. Okay, and that you have some, or expecting your tax refund to come in around that time. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by an attorney, and you've appeared without counsel today. Are you waiving your right to counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to proceed to a trial. You could demand a jury trial in this matter. You've not demanded one so far. Are you waiving your right to jury trial to have this conditional dismissal entered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, partial performance won't satisfy, so that means you have to perform in full, meaning you're paying the full amount that he just stated on the record, and that you're doing it by February 29th, or vacating by February 29th. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have 3 business days from to date. If once you leave here, you realize you misunderstood your rights, you can return to the court, request to have this agreement set aside, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna ask you all the same questions because you're named here. She can't answer for you. Do you have to understand the agreement that you're going to enter into a conditional dismissal? Okay, and that you agree to pay the past due rent amount, $5,020.39, plus court costs, $216.93, for a total $5,281.32. And that you all will pay that or vacate by the 29th of this month. Okay, and you're waiving your right to counsel? You have the right also to demand a jury. Are you waiving your right to jury? You have 3 business days from today to return to the court. If you leave here and realize you misunderstood the rights you waived, you return to the court, you file what's called a motion to set aside judgment and request to have this set for hearing, okay? Lastly, are you gonna give Mr. Brown permission to sign the conditional dismissal?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters? You're muted.
Nothing. Thank you.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Let me see. Mr. Dua, you have. Boom. Mr. Brown, were you all set, or no, or did you have another one? Let's see, David Rodriguez.
Your Honor?
Yes, I don't, is David or Jessica Rodriguez here? No. I have David and Jessica Rodriguez. I don't know if you resolved that already.
That is a dismissal that was filed on M-File.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I believe I met with one party that was not represented by legal services, Miss Codier. And I was requesting.
Correct. She left. I reset hers for the same date as the co-defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Miss Hall, did you have another matter?
I was just present Attorney Brown and I submitted a stipulation for an adjournment on Belkin versus Latham and was just here for the date or if the court had any questions.
February 28th at 2:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
No
Honor.
problem. No problem. Okay, you have two people here. I know you have Cassidy and Kimble.
Correct.
Okay, on the record in the matter of Benchmark Properties versus Jeannie Cassidy and Kevin Kimble. This is file number 23-03199 LT council appearance.
Thank you, Sam Dua here on behalf of the plaintiff.
Okay, what's your name?
Kevin Kimble.
Okay, your name?
I'm Jeannie Cassidy.
Okay. Today was the date and the time that was set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. Are the parties going to do a consent judgment?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe you have a proposed consent judgment in front of you.
Okay, I do have one here. That's how you want to move forward, a consent judgment?
Yes.
Okay, I have a consent judgment here. It says that the parties are agreeing that judgment will enter by consent for past due rent to retain possession in the amount of $1,815 plus court costs. $185.93 for a total of $2,000.93 that you are agreeing to pay that or vacate the premise by February 20th, 2024. You understand that?
Yes.
Do you agree to that?
Yes.
Yes.
It says acceptance of partial payment of the total amount due will not prevent issuing of court order evicting the defendant, and no money judgment will be entered at this time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Also says defendant may be liable for money damages after moving if any additional rent is owed or if there's damage to property. Correct? Okay, and so you have the right to be represented by an attorney. You were advised of that right at your pretrial back in January. You did not appear with an attorney today. Are you waiving your right to counsel?
Yes.
You also have the right to demand a jury trial in this matter. I've not received a jury demand on this file. You want to waive jury trial in order to do the consent judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody made any threats to you to get you to do that? Any promises being made for you to waive those rights?
No.
Okay, and then I see two signatures at the bottom. Did you both sign?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for the court?
I do. I got one question.
Yes.
We are trying to go through different organizations like CACS, Salvation Army, that type to help us pay. I'm not certain if our landlord allows payment from these places. Does he? Do you know if he does?
I believe they do, yes.
Yes, okay, because I'm gonna try everything I can. We had our rent, like, we've been going through this eviction now since like October. So we've actually had it caught up, and then I got sick again last month. Yeah, I have cancer, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
he's been taking 3 weeks off of work to help me, so we got behind for January and February. We had our eviction paid until these 2 months paid, until these two.
Okay, so you're expecting to have some agencies that may be able to assist?
Yes.
And your question is whether or not your landlord takes that?
If they will take, yes, if he takes it,
I don't
because
know any landlords that deny taking money, but
If you have a promise to pay from an agency, they will accept that
Okay.
as good as cash.
all right, I just wanted to make sure.
okay. So do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave the courtroom, you realize you misunderstood the rights that you gave up, which is the right to counsel and the right to your trial, you can return to court and request to have this judgment set aside, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any other questions? Any additional matters for the record?
Definitely, thank you.
We'll get you a copy of this and you'll be all set.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. On the record in the matter of 316 West Saginaw versus Aaron Arnold, file number 23-03195 LT, council appearance.
Thank you. Sam Dua here on behalf of the plaintiff.
And you're Miss Aaron Arnold?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, today was the date and the time that was set for a hearing for non-payment of rent. I have a consent order for conditional dismissal. That's how you want to resolve this? So the matter will be dismissed today upon the condition that you agree to pay the past due rent, $745, plus court cost of $157.96 for a total amount due of $902.96. And that's for rent due through the time period of February 29th, 2024, and that you'll pay that amount in full or vacate by February 29th, 2024, correct? Okay, and this partial performance will not satisfy this, so you gotta pay that full amount, you gotta do it on or before February 29th, or you have to vacate on or before February 29th. You understand that? You understood that you had the right to be represented by an attorney, correct?
Yes.
Are you gonna waive your right to an attorney?
Yes.
You also have the right to demand a jury trial. Did you want to waive your right to jury trial to do a conditional dismissal? Is anybody threatening you to get you to do that?
No.
Promises being made to you to get you to waive those rights. I'm sorry, yeah, that is. Any promises being made to get you to waive your rights?
No.
Okay. You have 3 business days from today's date. If once you leave here, you realize you actually do misunderstood the rights that you waived, you can return to the court, request to have this set aside, okay?
Okay.
We'll get you a copy of this. Unless you have any questions for me, you're all set. All right, thank you, ma'am. Have a good day. Same to you.
Thanks, Aaron. Good luck. If you just want to hang on out there.
Okay, thank you.